Órale. Solo Trucker here for Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Shouts to all my chingones and my chingonas out there. Shouts to my brothers in crime, Mike Zavala and David Contreras. You catch them every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in Espanol, homie. Los Tres Chingones Boxing, man. Hey, I know I usually like to go live earlier in the week to kind of cover kind of recap a little bit on what happened over the weekend. But tiempo, homie, I did not have the time to do it. So let's get into it now, dog. All right. So first of all, let's go ahead and let's talk about this fight, man. One, Mr. Richard Torres Jr. You know, he had a fight with Marco Canelo. And first of all, dog, Richard Torres, homie, I like what he's done with his image, dog. You know, the hair he's got going, the stash. I thought this like a 70s porn star. If you guys did not tap in, I actually went live right here on Los Tres Chingones Boxing during the fights, man. Or I should just say during the fight, which is the main event. But let's go ahead and let's talk about this fight. Okay. It was over pretty fast. Okay. Clearly Richard Torres Jr., you know, from Tulare, California, shouts to the Central Valley. This vato, he's got it. Okay, he does. He's got power, good boxing skills. Now, this was only his third fight, okay, in the professionals, but he does have a good amateur background. And that goes a long way. Am I saying that this guy is ready for the big dogs? Charlotte, dog. That's not what I am saying. But I think they got to step up the competition just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know, let's not get crazy with it. Okay. He's a heavyweight. And look, man, he just got in there and just demolished Marco Canelo, man. He knocked him out like face first. His face was planted on the canvas. His nose was smashed up against the canvas, dog. He drops him once. Canelo gets back up. And he, you know, Richard just, I mean, knocks him out completely. It took him minutes. It took them minutes to finally get Marco Canelo up on his feet. You know, they had to do the whole thing. You lay him down, you turn him over, they bring the stool, but it took a while for him to get up on the stool. I mean, he was out. Think of Miguel Burchell when he got knocked out, going forward, right, by Oscar Valdez. Better yet, think of Manny Pacquiao when he got knocked out by Marquez. Now, the difference on this was that Marco Antonio, he was not going forward the way those fighters were. He was pressed up against the rope. You know, I got to tell you guys, this kid, okay, who I think he's only 23. Look at this. Look at the look of him, dog. I'll tell you, man, he needs to walk into the ring with like some aviation mirror sunglasses. Hey, man, this kid looks great. I'm really hoping to see him again before the year's over. There's no need that to just have him sit down. I mean, this kid is just going through the competition. So far, he's got 3 fights, all won by knockouts. Decisively, he hasn't even been challenged. Again, I get it. It's only 3 fights, but he does have a good amateur background. And I think this kid is going places. So keep an eye on one Mr. Richard Torres Jr., man. This kid, I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. Now, let's move on to Jared, the real big baby Anderson. Okay. Another heavyweight. This guy is sharp. I really like what I see from this guy. You know, I'm telling you, man, with a lot of these young guys that everybody's excited for, the Shakur Stevensons, the Bam Rodriguez, Virgil Ortiz, the Connor Bands, and the Boot Tennis, and all these other weight classes, right? I gotta tell you, there's a couple of good heavyweights, a couple of good young heavyweights, man, that are starting to really make some noise. Okay, this is one of them. 22-year-old, the real big baby Anderson. He was in the ring with, man, I can't even really remember the guy's name. I think it's like Robocon or something like that. But it really doesn't matter too much because he was definitely outclassed by Big Baby Anderson. And this was the result right there. Now, I will say this, okay? There was a time where they clinched, okay? As a referee got in there, clearly said, break, no punch. Both fighters put their hands down, and Big Baby Anderson threw in a nice little right in there, knocking. Again, dog, I don't really remember his name, dog. I think his name was like Millie Han Robocon, something like that. Knocking his mouthpiece out. Little bit of a dirty movida, and later on in that round, he goes ahead and knocks him out. He didn't respond. He was conscious. You know, he was conscious. He was looking at the referee. He was seeing the referee count, and he just stood in that position right there until the referee reached 10. Jared the Big Baby Anderson, again, heavyweight, 22 years old. This guy looks good. This guy looks really good. 12 wins, 12 knockouts. This is not like Deontay Wilder, right? Deontay Wilder was kind of doing the same thing, but you could see boxing skills with guys like him, guys like Richard Torres Jr., guys with like Antonio Morales. These young guys coming up that I actually see boxing skills in these heavyweights. Like I was saying just a little while ago, everybody that's so excited for all these other young fighters and all these other weight classes, I'm telling you guys, there are some young, good, hungry fighters in the heavyweight division. They're making a little bit of noise. This is one of them right here. So we'll see what happens in the heavyweight division in the near future, man. In the few years to come. So shout outs to the real Big Baby Anderson, man. Good victory on his part. The main event. Jose Pedraza versus Richard Commey. Now, I didn't really put up much, gather much footage of their fight here. Just because, well, it was kind of a back and forth fight. It was a good one. Let me say that. It was a good one. I enjoyed the fight. Now, there's controversy. Since I watched the fight live, I've gone back to check it out to see if I still agree with what I was saying during the live. Watching this fight, calling this fight. I mean, not, calling it here on YouTube on Los Tres Chingones Boxing, orale. And chopping it up with a couple of the chingones, man, that decided to tap in. Much love to all you guys, man. Gracias for spending that Saturday night watching the fight with me, homes. Okay, look. I still had Richard Commey winning the fight. Going into this fight, man, these guys were pretty identical. I think Richard Comey's had 30 wins with 4 losses. Pedraza had 29 wins with 4 losses. Pedraza being 33, Commey being 35. I mean, look, it was a good matchup, right? Both of these guys past their prime. 10-round fight. I enjoyed the fight. I liked it. when the match was made, I was like, this is going to be a good one. And it was. All right. I really enjoyed the fight. Here's the thing. Okay. So it ended up being a draw. Okay. It was a split draw. One judge had it for Pedraza. One judge had it for Commey. And the other judge had it even down the middle. All right. I kind of find it hard how wide the judge had it for Pedraza, but let's get into it, man. Look, judges can fight. Judges can score fights differently, right? On one hand, I really believe Commey was winning most of the rounds because he was causing the most damage. However, if you go back and watch the fight, which I did, I will say, and I was saying it that night on the live, Pedraza was having his moments. He was landing punches. You got to score those punches. Okay, depending on how you judge, right? To me, if, say, Pedraza lands a punch, a straight right, and Commey takes it like it's absolutely nothing, doesn't even faze him. But Commey gets you with a nice, straight, stiff jab, and you could clearly see that Pedraza, not that he gets wobbly, but you could see it really affects him. To me, Commey's winning the fight. Even though Pedraza is the one that landed the power shot. It didn't do anything to Commey. But that's just me, Holmes. Okay, because Pedraza did land quite a few good punches. Now, maybe, there's not a lot of spotlight to his punches because it really had little to no effect. Now, there was a time that he did it. There was a time, I believe in the 9th round, it did seem like Commey was a little bit in trouble. It did seem like he was either a little out of gas or if he was dazed a little bit. Not rocked much, but just like a little bit. And it looked like Pedraza was really going to come on, and it didn't really happen too much. But outside of that, homie, Commey's punches were having much more of an effect on Pedraza. Much more. But if you want to count punches, which I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, hey, Holmes, I counted all the punches. But Pedraza did land quite a few good punches, man. And just because it did not have the same effect on Commey, some judges are going to score that and say, hey, Holmes, the Vato landed. He landed those punches. So am I mad at the draw? At that time, watching it live, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say robbery, but I had Commey win the fight. If you ask me today who won the fight, I still say Commey won the fight. However, I'm not mad at the draw. I'm not mad at it. Both guys put in a good effort. I thought maybe Commey could have stepped it up and possibly even finished Pedraza. But then again, I don't know, man. He's 35 years old. Maybe he didn't want to step on the gas. And I mean, it's a 10-round fight. It's not a 12-round fight. Maybe he wanted to not waste too much energy. But it looked at times that Commey could have picked it up a little bit more and either finished Pedraza or really changed the landscape of the fight, Holmes. Serio, dog. I thought he could have picked it up a little bit and maybe not finish him, but it would have really rocked him, and it would have really changed the landscape of the fight, and Commey would have got the victory. But, ¿sabes qué? A draw, I'm not mad at it. Again, if you ask me, I think Commey won the fight, but I could see an argument for Pedraza. I could see the argument for the draw. As far as Pedraza winning the fight, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm not going to argue too much with it. You know what I mean? So, hey, Holmes, have this fight again. Let's run it again. Okay, as far as it being a main event like it was this past Saturday night, how about putting it in a co-main event for a big top rank fight? Let's make that happen. How fast are these guys going to come back at their more advanced age, going all 10 rounds? Probably not this year. If it is, you know, probably not till December, but probably not till sometime early next year, man. You guys got to remember the training camp, and these guys did go all 10 rounds. So if it does happen, like I said, December, if not early next year, these aren't two, you know, 22, 23-year-olds, man. They're probably going to take a little bit of time off. If this rematch ever even happens again, I want to see it again. Put it in a co-main event, in a big main event card. And if the money's right, I believe these two guys step in there again and make it happen. It was a good one. I enjoyed it. Los Tres Chingones Boxing, Cholo Trucker. Shouts to all my chingones and my chingonas out there. I'll catch you guys on the next round.